Let's talk about how to maximize your productivity with webinar automation. This step-by-step guide is going to give you insights from my own business that I have been able to grow thanks to automating webinars, growing my email subscribers to over 100,000 and getting clients in over 20 countries. You don't have to burn out. You don't have to sit in one-on-one coffee chats for the rest of your life. So let's hang out on my terrace with me for a little bit and talk about these things that most gurus won't share with you because honestly, they are probably hoping that you just understand this. And I am somebody who figured a lot of this from scratch a decade ago, and a lot of things that were understood and all these other trainings that I took were not so easy in application. And so I hope this video gives you insights to build on what you already know, what you've seen, and allows you to skip ahead to the front of the line when you're automating your webinars. Hi, I'm Ilean Harris, an entrepreneur and Cuban American. When I started as an entrepreneur, I had little resources, so I quickly learned how to work smart. I experienced lots of headaches and setbacks when I started, but today, everything is different. I've got clients in over 20 countries, I've traveled the world, and I want to show you how to do the same. In this community, you will gain amazing training and inspiration to build a business of your dreams and a great lifestyle to go with it. Whether you're an entrepreneur with lots of ambition and experience or you have just started your entrepreneurial journey, you've come to the right place. Remember, you can have it all. My favorite thing about webinar automation is that you get to really reach more people. You know, a lot of people think that webinar automation is so that you work a little bit less, but truthfully, for me, webinar automation means I get to work more. I just happen to get to focus on what I actually love doing, which is working with my coaching clients, which is growing our agency with more clients, creating e-courses, traveling the world, and so much more, instead of thinking, oh, because you automate something, you're somehow not going to have to do anything in your business. That's not the approach I take. I'm just saying I get to focus on things that are more so in my zone of genius. What I love about webinars is that I get to add a ton of value, and whether people buy from me or not, I taught them things. I help them overcome just ideas that were holding them back. I help them get information about typical misconceptions that hold them back. And so whether someone is in that moment ready to buy or take action or not, automating webinars is super, super helpful to them. I mean, think about it this way. Let's say that you want to go and sit at a coffee shop and you're super excited and you prepare your presentation and you've got your pitch or your non-pitch, however it is, but you're going to sit with a prospect one-on-one. Let's say that person is not quite ready to buy from you. You just spent maybe 1 to 3 hours hanging out with this person at a coffee shop, giving them their undivided attention. Then you say to yourself, oh, well, that's okay. You know, you can't win them all. And so you keep doing this and you go to networking events, and you try to find people, and that's all great. But what if to get 10 customers, you have to hear 90 no's? What if 90 people meet with you one-on-one in a coffee shop before 10 say yes? Oh my goodness, that's really demoralizing and exhausting and draining, and honestly, probably necessary in business. Probably necessary because you have to learn your customers' most common objections. You have to improve how it is that you say things, and you've just got to talk to more people until you find the people that are ready to buy from you. Now, on the flip side, what if you had a pre-recorded video where you give your highest energy, you've got your best presentation, you help people, people are like, wow, that was amazing, I can't believe that that was free. If that is what you're like free, what is working with this person like when it's paid? What if you could do that one time and have it serve people over and over and over again? That's what I absolutely love about webinar automation. If 100 people saw my video, but only 10 bought, that is way better than me going and sitting down 100 times at a coffee shop to hopefully get 10 customers. And so, as you can see, this is extremely valuable for you, for your business. This frees up your time to improve your customer service, to create more content, create more videos, have a life, go be with your family, travel the world, be free. add more services, work on your business, not just in it. Sit with your coach. I mean, the sky's the limit. Okay, the sky's the limit. I won't go down that rabbit hole too much. But that's why I'm really passionate about webinar automation. It helps your client. They can be in any time zone. They don't have to worry about if you're available, when you're available. They don't have to fly to you. You don't have to worry about geographical limitations. So when I'm in Miami, it's really nice that I still get to coach my client in Dubai. When I'm in Miami, it's still really nice that I get to coach my client in Norway, in Mexico, in Peru, in Costa Rica. You name it, my geographical location doesn't limit me. And obviously you have Zoom and you have the internet, but where webinar automation helps you, it helps you connect with people. People know why they can know, like, and trust you. And so take out a pen and paper. I'm going to give you some steps. I'm going to give you some know-how. And obviously in the description, I have left some resources, some blog posts, some free online training webinars where I am practicing what I preach, and I am giving you awesome value. But also I want you to start thinking about your automated webinars. Maybe you've never done it before. Great. You get to learn what to do correctly from the get-go, from the first time. And then if they haven't been working, this is a great time to work on your business, not just in it, so that you can see what areas of improvement are necessary, how you can better reach people and show them that you get where they're coming from and that you have what exactly they've been looking for, but without you having to be there in person. And so let's dive right in. The first step is you want to host live webinars. I know we're talking about webinar automation, but look, you've got to host some live webinars. You've got to see a lot of different things. If nobody shows up to your live webinar, then what are you saying? How can you improve that headline? Maybe your webinar is not the issue. Maybe it's on the front end. How can you create pages that people are excited to click on, that are trustworthy, that have just brand elements that represent who you are, the quality of service that you have to offer? And so a live webinar doesn't even have to be official. You can even host a live on social media. Did a lot of people show up? What were your most frequently asked questions? What times of the day were the most popular? What topics caught people's attention? And so you can test things. Another great way for you to test things is to do research. What videos are taking off for other creators, content creators? What things are really working? Live webinars also help me because I read the chat religiously. Oh my goodness, there's no better thing to read. There's no magazine, there is no book better than a chat in my webinar. If everyone asks me one question, that means, in my opinion, there's a gap in my presentation. You know, I think it's very easy as an entrepreneur to just sit back and say, oh, nobody has time, nobody has money, the economy is bad. And you just have this external locus of control where it's like, no, it has nothing to do with me. It's all on them. If they had more money, if they had a bigger vision, if they had a bigger mindset, or if I had just had 1 million followers. And that honestly is, and I gotta give you a little tough love, it's a little lazy. It's a little lazy because while that may be true for some people, there are billions of people in the world, and out of there have to be people that need exactly what you have to offer and want to work with you. And so I'm not lazy. I'm willing to put in the work because I know if I do the work on the front end, on the back end, I can automate this for years to come. I mean, I'm still making sales on courses and auto webinars I created, I don't know, 3-5 years ago because I took that time on the front end. So read the chat. What are questions people are giving you? What are excuses people are giving you? I remember a popular excuse I used to get was, oh, you're just saying that, Ilean, because you don't, have these kids and you can't be as unproductive as me because you just have more time. So you know what I did? I anticipated that objection in my webinar, and I showed testimonials from all these successful mothers I have been working with. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm someone I'm not. I'm going to still show up authentically, but I can still show examples. If you do not have testimonials yet that match every single objection you're getting, then show case studies. Be honest. Hey, this is somebody who has modeled the exact same process I'm teaching you. This is what you can learn from them and help people make that connection. So write that down. You want to host live trainings and you want to look at the feedback, what people are telling you in the chat. The next thing that you want to do is have a great registration process. Okay, you don't want it to be complicated, and you definitely don't just want to give away a link and hope people will show up. People have a lot of things to do, and so not only is it great for you to build your email list, but you're just really helpful from day one. You know, I've got a lot going on, so when I'm excited excited about attending a free class, I get really excited that they're going to send me a notification, that they're going to remind me, that they're going to nudge me. The only times emails and things like that are annoying to people is if it's something they don't need or they don't want. And obviously a good webinar is something people need and want. So have a great registration process. This means it's automated for you. This means you're never going to forget to send someone a text. This means that even if you don't post on social media about your webinar, that people are getting the exact message for the exact time that they have registered for. The next thing that you want to do is you want to automate that email communication. You want to follow up. You know, I'm not sure if you're aware of this. I've mentioned it in my other videos, which you should check out too, by the way, is that people on average see about 2,000 social media posts a day. I mean, between you and I actually think it's way more, but let's leave it at the average for now, okay, to not be overly dramatic. And a 2,000 posts, that's a lot of competition. No matter how much they need what you have to offer, you are also fighting with the algorithm. The algorithm is basically a fancy system social media uses to decide who sees what. How do you know the doorbell didn't ring right when you popped up and then they just kept scrolling or they went out of the app? I mean, it's just too many factors to leave up to chance. Whereas on average, people get 50 emails a day. 50 emails a day, that's amazing. I would rather be one of 50 than be one of 2,000. And so trust me, you're not annoying people, you are helping people, you are serving them, and you're giving yourself a way to follow up, because you can post on social media and you're not sure if people will get the post. I mean, you can check Facebook and Instagram. Sometimes less than 5% of people who follow you see what you're posting. And I know 100% of the times I send an email, someone will receive it. Sure, it's not perfect. Sometimes it can go in spam. Sometimes it can go in a promotions folder. Sometimes somebody may not check their email the whole time, but my chances are always so much higher than solely relying on social media. And trust me, I love social media, but if you want to succeed with webinar automation, you've got to work smart and have these email reminders set in place. The next thing you want to have is an amazing webinar. Webinars are a great way to teach people why they should know, like, and trust you. You can add a ton of value before ever asking for a sale. So you have to learn. If you want to work with me on my signature system so that you know exactly what to sell, because that way you don't have to worry about, well, what's information that's okay to give away for free versus what I'm charging for, or what is it that I can say to someone without being salesy or pushy. The good news is, just like the best food you've ever eaten, there's a recipe for it. And so if you're interested in that, I can show you all about it. I'll leave the details down below. But the reality is that you have got to have an amazing presentation. And you don't even have to show your face. You can talk over slides. You can give people a great experience that they are super excited about in a class that they want to share with their friends because it gave them so much value. The last thing that you want to do is that you want to have some sense of urgency. You want to have a great call to action. You want people to experience your coaching already in that moment, because people are stuck for a reason and they're going to need a little bit of accountability. So do you have a bonus, for instance, that goes away if people don't take action within a certain time? Do you have a price that increases? Do you have perhaps a payment plan that goes away? There's so many different ways to create a sense of urgency, because you know what's going to happen if people don't have access to your information. I know, for instance, that a lot of my coaching clients, had they not worked with me, they would have kept running ads or boosting posts or doing all these things, and they weren't going to have the success that they needed to succeed in their business because they would have kept trying a gazillion other things, and it would have been really hard to piece it all together. And so instead, by working with me in my business, I am confident that I can take them from A to Z. And so I don't want them to wait and find out the hard way. That's what I did. I found out the hard way. And so now that I know exactly what works and what steps they need to take, I don't want anyone to go through any of the headaches or embarrassment or rookie mistakes that I went through. And so I know that a sense of urgency is not some sales tactic, especially if it comes from a place of service, of changing lives. And so think of different ways to motivate your audience to take action. Webinar automation does not have to be this thing that stresses you out, this super techie process. Pretend if you had somebody with you at that coffee shop, like we mentioned earlier. What would you say to them? What would you want them to know? What do you wish people could understand? about their situation. That's extremely important. It's actually an opportunity for you to be an expert rather than stressing about sales. What value can you add? How can you change lives? And so I want to make sure that you have as many details and resources as possible. So in the description, I'm leaving for you an amazing on-demand online training webinar I want you to experience, because I want you to see how you can make tens of thousands of dollars a month with your coaching or your e-courses thanks to webinar automation. I'm also going to leave below some blog links that are going to give you extra resources. So if you're wondering, hey Ilean, what tools do you use? How do you automate it? Where should I start? I'm going to leave all of that in the description below, because at the end of the day, you can have it all. And you don't have to choose between a great business or a great experience or having to enjoy your life. You can have it all. But on the front end, it's so much easier to have it all if you go ahead and build all those systems and resources. So I'm super excited for you. And if you have any questions, go ahead and reach out. All of the details are below. We'll talk soon.